I don't know, man. I just, adopt, don't shop. No, totally does not apply, but also, that's kind of funny. Real quick before I start the video, guys, if you didn't already know, I have merch! I will put the link in the description below. If you find anything that you like, feel free to shop around, guys. This merch is lit, and there's so much more to come. I'm so excited! Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name's Marcella. This is Child Free Millennial, where we talk about all things child free. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram. I know all the things, all the platforms, we get it, okay? So I asked you guys on Instagram the other day to give me some words of advice on what you would tell someone who is on the fence of either being a parent or choosing to be child free. And you guys, like always, came through with the best responses. I would feel so selfish not to share them with you, honestly, because they're really just that good. First comment, love this. OMG, no advice, but advice needed. My boyfriend is on the fence. Well, girl, keep watching because there's a ton of advice coming your way. All right, so there were a lot of people who said something very similar along these lines. This person says, if you're on the fence, don't have a kid until you're completely sure you want one. You can't undo a child. Again, going along the same lines, basically, if you aren't 100% all in with the idea of parenting, then maybe it's not for you. So I feel like there's a lot of truth to if you're a fence sitter or if you're not 100%, then maybe having a kid is not right for you. But at the same time, like trying to view things in both perspectives, I mean, for the most part, you're never 100% ready to do something, you know, like whether it's start a business, move to another state, change careers, go to school, drop out of school. There's just so many things that you cannot be 100% ready for. And I think having kids, I'm not sure that anyone is ever 100% ready to have a kid, which I like what they said with if you aren't 100% all in with the idea of parenting, because it's one thing to already have the kid and be like, okay, well,
I kind of already have this kid, so I kind of need to like, you know, do my duty as a parent to raise it, whatever.
Which is the most rational thing to do, don't get me wrong. But I think it's important to put yourself in the perspective of, if I did have a kid, would I be ready for that? Would I be okay with the idea that I would have to take care of someone else? Another person says, remember that it's a choice, not a life requirement. I really like that because it is a choice. Child-free by choice. I am choosing not to have kids. Also, if you choose to have kids, then you're a mother, you're a father, you're a parent, you're a guardian, you're whatever. This one made me laugh. Google cost of children and pros and cons and ask real parents what is great about it and what isn't. I think this is so important. At least for me, I have a lot of friends who are parents themselves, and so I don't have to really go out of my way to be talking to parents or asking questions or seeking out kids to kind of solidify my idea and my choice of not wanting to have kids. But I feel like if you're not able to be around kids constantly, or you don't have friends who are necessarily parents, then it is a little harder. And I feel like you should definitely reach out to other people and try to, I don't want to say like submerge yourself or like get the full experience of being a parent, but hang around kids. Which leads me to this person. They said, watch children for a day to gain perspective, or do some research and babysit or spend time with kids. I think that's great. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who have not had any experience with kids, had a kid, were wonderful parents. I'm sure there are. But wouldn't it be better if you were more prepared and if you knew, almost like when you're going to take a test, you kind of want to study the material and make sure that you know what the test is going to be about versus just jumping into a test, not knowing any of the material and just kind of guessing C all the way down, you know? Like, okay, I love what this person says. Imagine you found out you were pregnant and watch how you respond. It helped me a lot. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I can't stress that enough. For me, that's something that really helped solidify my choice, is imagining that I was pregnant or being like, what if I had a pregnancy scare right now? Like, would I freak out or would I be so excited? Definitely a freak out, like for sure. Like even just talking about it right now, like my heart, I wish I had a Fitbit or a freaking Apple Watch. Like my heart rate is through the roof just thinking about being pregnant. Like that terrifies me. For me, that's a telltale sign like, hey girl, maybe kids aren't for you. The fact that I'm terrified about something that hasn't even happened, but just the thought of it happening, like, yeah, maybe just don't do it, you know? Okay, this one I really liked as well. They said, figure out what you truly want in life and then picture those things with kids and then without. So I think that that's like the smartest way to go about it. If you do, could you fulfill those goals? Could you still be happy with kids in your life? Are kids your goal? There's a lot of variables and a lot of things where people would be like, yeah, kids would be so fulfilling and it would make my goals even better. And then there's the other side of, I really don't think that I could fulfill my goals and I don't think that I could be as happy as I want to be if I had to raise kids, which is totally fine. Either way, there's no right or wrong answer. I also love the fact that someone said to write down the pros and cons. I have actually done that myself. And it was when I was physically writing down like, hey, these are the pros and these are the cons, that I was like, the cons outweigh the pros so much. A lot of the pros were things that wouldn't necessarily benefit me, like as a person, but more of like outside people's views on me. Like I would get more attention. My parents would love me more. They would have a grandchild. I would be able to have play dates with friends. Like it's not anything that would have necessarily benefited me. It's just not something that I could ever see myself doing. And that's okay. That is totally okay. So this person kind of made me think about it a little bit differently. They said, that was me. You can find other ways to mother and be involved with kids. So for those of you who have maternal instincts, I feel like there are so many ways that you can put those maternal instincts to use, or paternal instincts. For me, it's funny because I get a lot of people say, why don't you want to have kids? Like, you're so great with kids. And my response is always, because they're not mine. I love them because they're not mine. I can give them back. They don't belong to me. I don't have to do anything else except for play with them in that moment. And it's fun. It's not I don't want to say burden, but I mean, in a sense, it's not a burden that I have to carry on my back 24/7. And I know that the child-free community is kind of all over the place in terms of like loving kids and then just really hating kids. I mean, it's kind of a harsh reality, but I feel like my maternal instincts definitely shine when I'm with kids. It's just, I just don't want any of my own. Like, another very, very solid comment that I got a lot was, becoming a parent is something you can never take back. True. It's not like adopting a dog. You can't just give it to a foster home or take it back to the shelter. No. And for those people who do that, like, come on now, please. Just think about the dog. The dog is literally a life. Like, it's breathing. Okay, you know what? Not going on that tangent today. But it's so true. You cannot give a child back. As frustrating and tired and all the emotions that mothers feel, you cannot give the child back. And so for me, like, that is a huge factor for me, is I don't really get a break from them. I don't know, man. I just... adopt, don't shop. No, totally does not apply, but also that's kind of funny. This person says, if you don't know, then it's a hard pass. Too big of a gamble to play with if you aren't sure. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're totally right. Don't listen to others' opinions or expectations of you. That is kind of what I was touching on when I was talking about the pros and cons, because a lot of people expect women, especially women who are very motherly and have a lot of nurturing qualities about them. They feel like, oh, it's almost your duty to have a kid because you're just so great with kids. But no, it's my life. So you're not the one who's going to be taking care of the kid. So it's so huge to not listen to other people, or not place other people's expectations above what will actually make you happy. So this came from a mom. She said, parenthood can be fun too, and you don't have to lose yourself in it. I love this comment because it's so true. Even though there are a lot of parents out there who, once they have a kid, their identity is pretty much just stripped from them because all they care about is this child. And they no longer care about themselves. I shouldn't say they no longer care, but they don't have the same time, the same resources, the same whatever to take care of themselves like when they didn't have a kid. And so I feel like the more kids you have, the more of your identity is stripped, the more you have to focus on your kids, which it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. And I love that comment because you don't have to turn into another person when you are a mom. I know plenty of moms out there who are thriving, who still get to have a lot of time to themselves, who still do a lot of things that they did in the past, but they're still moms. So I mean, I have a lot of respect for those people. The fact that they can balance the personal / mom / if they work, all those different things that they have to balance, all the hats that they have to wear. Personally, I couldn't do it, but more power to you if you can. I also love this comment. Child-free lives are rewarding and filling. Yes. I mean, there is no competition. It's not, if you're child-free, you are better than moms. If you're a mom, you're better than someone who doesn't have kids. Like, it's not like that at all. We need to respect and we need to almost like cheer each other on for the choices that we have made. Another solid comment. Only be a parent if you want to be a parent. I love that. It's so true. No one's gonna raise your kid for you. Lastly, this person says, there's no rush or timeline to make your decision. Yes, amen. Nobody should tell you that at the age of 28, you need to have 3 kids. That's not a thing. And if people are telling you that, you need to cut them out of your life, seriously, because why should they have any weight? Why should they have any kind of input in you, your life, your reproductive parts? None of that. Like, let's cut that out. In the end, like I always say, this is your life. These are your decisions. Live your best life. Like, I mean that. I wholeheartedly mean that. That's something that I'm trying to be better at, something that I'm trying to kind of like walk the talk with, because for me, I'm definitely a people pleaser. I definitely hold myself to other people's standards, higher standards, things that are almost unachievable. And so for me, being able to be like, no, this is my life. Like, these are my decisions. And that goes for anything. It goes for having kids, education, where you live. It just goes for anything in life. Why not live your best life? Life is so short. You could be here today and tomorrow you could be gone. It's so scary. So why not live each day to the fullest, you know? Like always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for always answering my questions and enlightening the rest of us with advice and things that we just struggle with. You guys are the best. Love you the most. Live your best life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.